Life is an unpredictable journey, often throwing challenges in our path when we least expect them. It is in these very moments of struggle, hardship, and adversity that the true strength of a person is forged. Hard times test our limits, push us to our breaking points, and challenge every ounce of determination within us. Yet it is through these very struggles that we evolve into stronger, wiser, and more resilient individuals. Without hardship, there can be no true growth, no deep understanding of our own capabilities, and no appreciation for the strength we have within us. When we face adversity, our first instinct may be to resist, to question why life is being unfair, or to feel overwhelmed by the weight of our burdens. However, what separates the strong from the weak is perspective. Those who rise above difficulties do not see them as punishments, but as opportunities, chances to learn, to develop perseverance, and to redefine their own limits. Every struggle carries within it the seed of transformation. A person who faces obstacles head on does not emerge the same as before. They emerge stronger, more disciplined, and with a deeper understanding of themselves and the world. Take a moment to reflect on some of the greatest leaders, innovators, and visionaries in history. Their journeys were not smooth, nor were their paths free of difficulties. They endured failures, betrayals, financial struggles, rejection, and moments of doubt, yet they pressed forward. They understood that resilience is not just about enduring pain, but about using pain as fuel to rise higher. When Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb, he did not see his failures as defeats, but as necessary steps toward success. When Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, he did not allow the weight of injustice to break him. Instead, he emerged with greater wisdom, leading a nation toward unity and peace. Similarly, in our own lives, we will encounter moments where we feel like giving up, where the weight of our struggle seems unbearable. It is in these moments that we must remind ourselves that diamonds are formed under pressure and steel is forged in fire. The hardships we endure today shape the strength we carry tomorrow. A person who has never faced difficulty may live in comfort, but they will never know the depth of their own potential. True strength is born from struggle, and true wisdom is gained from overcoming pain. We all encounter difficulties, setbacks, and moments of despair that test our strength, patience, and resilience. But what if I told you that adversity is not your enemy, but your greatest teacher? What if I told you that the challenges you face today are shaping you into the strongest version of yourself? That is the power of adversity. It does not break you, it builds you. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. To grow into a strong tree, it must push through the dirt, break through the ground, and endure storms. If it stays buried, it will never reach the sunlight. The same principle applies to us. If we never experience struggle, we will never discover our true potential. Adversity forces us out of our comfort zones, challenges our limits, and compels us to develop strength we never knew we had. It is through difficulties that we grow wiser, tougher, and more resilient. Think about the moments in your life when you were tested the most. Maybe you failed an important exam, lost a loved one, faced financial struggles, or experienced rejection. In those moments, it may have felt like the world was against you. But looking back, didn't those challenges teach you valuable lessons? Didn't they make you stronger, more determined, and more appreciative of life's victories? Adversity is not meant to destroy us. It is meant to refine us. History has shown us that some of the greatest people in the world have endured unimaginable hardships. They did not succeed because life was easy for them. They succeeded because they refused to let adversity define them. Consider Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. If he had given up after his first few failures, the world would have been a much darker place, literally. But instead of seeing failure as defeat, he saw it as a necessary step towards success. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of a person who understands the power of adversity. Think about Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women in the world. She faced poverty, abuse, and numerous rejections early in her career. Many people told her she would never make it, but she refused to accept defeat. Instead, she used her struggles to fuel her passion and purpose. Today, she is not just a media mogul, but a symbol of resilience and strength. Even Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, did not allow his suffering to make him bitter. Instead, he used his pain to build wisdom, compassion, and leadership that would change an entire nation. He proved that adversity does not have to harden us, it can transform us into the very people we were meant to be. One of the greatest gifts of adversity is that it teaches us lessons we could never learn in comfort. It teaches us resilience. When life knocks you down, you learn how to get back up. You realize that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a stepping stone toward it. Patience. Good things take time, and adversity teaches us to be patient, to trust the process, and to keep moving forward. Gratitude. When you go through tough times, you begin to appreciate the small victories in life. You realize that strength is not found in what we have, but in what we overcome. Adversity is not something we can avoid, but we can control how we respond to it. Here are a few ways to use adversity to your advantage. Change your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, see them as opportunities. Every difficulty carries a lesson. Develop a growth mindset. Believe that every challenge is making you stronger, wiser, and more capable. Failure is not permanent unless you stop trying. Stay persistent. Success is often just on the other side of struggle. Keep pushing forward no matter how tough the road gets. Surround yourself with positivity. The right people can uplift you during tough times. Find those who encourage you and distance yourself from negativity. Believe in yourself. No matter how hard things get, remind yourself that you are capable of overcoming anything. You are stronger than your struggles. Life is not meant to be easy. It is not a straight path, nor is it free of obstacles. Every single person who has ever achieved anything great has faced moments of hardship, struggle, and doubt. Hard times are not just unavoidable, they are necessary. They force us to evolve, to grow, and to become the strongest version of ourselves. Without adversity, we would remain stagnant, never truly understanding the depth of our own potential. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens when we are tested, when we are pushed beyond our limits, and when we are forced to find strength we never knew we had. One of the most valuable lessons that hard times teach us is that failure is not something to be feared. Instead, it is a teacher guiding us toward improvement and growth. When we fail, we are given the opportunity to learn, to reflect, and to adjust our approach. Every failure brings with it a lesson that makes us wiser and more prepared for the future. The greatest success stories in history are built on foundations of failure. Consider Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If he had given up after his first few attempts, the world would have been a much darker place, literally. Instead of seeing failure as defeat, he saw it as a necessary part of the journey toward success. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of a person who understands the power of struggle. Every setback is simply another step forward, another opportunity to grow. If we never experienced failure, we would never develop the persistence needed to succeed. People who fear failure often never take risks, never chase their dreams, and never push themselves beyond what feels comfortable. But those who embrace failure, who learn from it, and who refuse to let it define them are the ones who ultimately achieve greatness. Difficult times have a way of teaching us what truly matters. When we experience loss, pain, or hardship, we begin to see life differently. We start appreciating the small things we once took for granted, the support of loved ones, the value of good health, the importance of resilience. Hard times strip away the distractions and force us to focus on what is truly meaningful. For example, someone who has struggled with financial hardship will always appreciate the value of hard work and financial stability. Someone who has faced rejection will develop a deeper sense of determination and perseverance. Someone who has overcome illness will never take a single day of good health for granted. These lessons cannot be learned in a life of ease and comfort. They are only understood through struggle. Hardships also teach us empathy. When we go through tough times, we develop a greater sense of compassion for others who are struggling. We become more understanding, more patient, and more willing to help those in need. Some of the most inspiring people in the world are those who have turned their pain into purpose, using their struggles to uplift and support others. Nothing great is ever achieved by staying in the same place. Growth requires discomfort. It requires taking risks, facing fears, and pushing beyond self-imposed limitations. When we go through hard times, we are forced to step outside of our comfort zones and adapt to new situations. We learn problem-solving skills, we develop mental toughness, and we gain the confidence to face future challenges. Think about a time in your life when you were faced with a difficult decision or an unexpected hardship. In the moment, it may have felt overwhelming, but looking back, you probably realized that it helped you grow. Maybe it made you more independent, more resourceful, or more determined. Maybe it forced you to develop new skills or rethink your priorities. Growth is never easy, but it is always worth it. The truth is, if we only do what feels comfortable, we will never reach our full potential. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid challenges, but those who embrace them. They understand that struggle is temporary, but the growth that comes from it lasts a lifetime. Life is a journey filled with both joy and struggle, triumph and failure, success and hardship. While we all wish for a smooth path, the truth is that it is the rough roads that teach us the most valuable lessons. Hardships are not obstacles meant to destroy us. They are teachers meant to shape us. Every challenge we face, every failure we endure, and every disappointment we encounter carries a lesson, one that helps us grow into stronger, wiser, and more resilient individuals. For me, that lesson is learn to live on the ups and downs, and that lesson will help us grow into stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It is often in our darkest moments that we discover who we truly are, and it is through struggle that we develop the qualities necessary to succeed. One of the most important lessons we learn from hardships is resilience. When life knocks us down, we are given two choices: to stay down and give up, or to rise again, stronger than before. The ability to keep going despite failures, setbacks, and difficulties is what separates those who succeed from those who do not. Hardships force us to push beyond our perceived limits, to endure pain, and to keep moving forward even when the odds are against us. Resilience is not something we are born with, it is something we develop through experience. Every time we face adversity and refuse to surrender, we build our inner strength. Think about a child learning to walk. If they gave up after falling the first time, they would never experience the joy of running. In the same way, every hardship we overcome strengthens our ability to handle future challenges with confidence and courage. Hard times teach us that failure is not final and that setbacks are just temporary detours on the path to success. Many of us fear failure because we see it as an end, but in reality, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward it. Some of the greatest minds in history failed multiple times before achieving greatness. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb, but he never saw those failures as defeats. Instead, he viewed them as lessons, saying, "I have not failed, I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." This perspective is what allowed him to keep going until he succeeded. Hardships teach us that every failure contains valuable lessons. When we fail, we are given the opportunity to analyze our mistakes, learn from them, and improve. Without failure, there would be no innovation, no discovery, and no growth. If we avoid failure out of fear, we also avoid progress. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to quit, we should see it as a stepping stone. a necessary part of the learning process that brings us one step closer to our goals. It is often during our most difficult times that we learn to appreciate the things we once took for granted. When life is easy, we rarely stop to think about the blessings we have. But when we go through hardships, whether it is financial struggles, health issues, or emotional pain, we begin to see life from a different perspective. We start valuing small moments of happiness, the kindness of others, and the simple things that bring joy. Consider someone who has experienced extreme poverty. After overcoming financial struggles, they develop a deep appreciation for every opportunity and resource they receive. They do not take things for granted because they understand their true value. Hardships teach us to cherish what we have, to be grateful for the support of loved ones, and to recognize that even in our toughest moments, there is always something to be thankful for. Hardships also teach us to be more understanding and compassionate toward others. When we go through pain, we become more sensitive to the struggles of those around us. We learn that everyone is fighting battles we may not see, and this understanding allows us to be kinder, more patient, and more supportive. Some of the most compassionate people in the world are those who have suffered deeply. Think about Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years in prison, but emerged not with bitterness, but with a heart full of forgiveness and a desire to unite his country. His hardships taught him the value of peace, unity, and understanding. In the same way, our own struggles can shape us into better people, people who lift others up, who extend a helping hand, and who use their experiences to inspire and guide those going through similar difficulties. When we go through hard times, we are often forced to rely on ourselves to find solutions and to push through difficulties without waiting for someone to save us. This builds self-confidence and independence. Every challenge we overcome proves to us that we are capable, that we are strong, and that we can handle whatever life throws our way. Think about someone who has faced repeated rejection, whether in their career, relationships, or personal pursuits. If they learn to persevere, to keep trying despite the setbacks, they develop an unshakable confidence in themselves. They realize that rejection is not a reflection of their worth, but simply a redirection towards something better. They learn to trust their own abilities, to stand on their own, and to create opportunities where none exist. In a world that values instant gratification, hardships remind us that good things take time. Success is rarely immediate, and growth is a slow process. When we face difficulties, we learn the value of patience, of waiting, and of trusting that things will improve if we keep putting in the effort. For example, someone training for a marathon does not become a strong runner overnight. They endure months, even years of training, pushing through pain, exhaustion, and setbacks. But in the end, their patience and persistence pay off, and they achieve what once seemed impossible. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. Hardships teach us that true success is not about how fast we get there, but about our ability to keep going despite the challenges along the way. Life is unpredictable. It can be beautiful and rewarding, but it can also be filled with hardships, disappointments, and moments that test us beyond what we thought we could endure. Many people believe that strength is measured by physical power, but true strength, the kind that carries us through life's biggest challenges, is not found in our muscles, but in our minds and hearts. Emotional and mental strength are the foundations of resilience, the forces that allow us to rise above adversity, to keep going when everything seems impossible, and to thrive despite difficulties. Today, I want to talk about how we can build emotional and mental strength to navigate life's challenges with confidence, grace, and unwavering determination. Before we can build emotional and mental strength, we must first understand what it truly means. Emotional strength is the ability to manage our emotions effectively, to remain calm under pressure, and to handle life's ups and downs without being overwhelmed. It is the ability to stay positive in difficult situations, to control negative thoughts, and to maintain emotional balance even when facing stress, loss, or failure. Mental strength, on the other hand, is about resilience, determination, and mental endurance. It is the power to keep pushing forward despite obstacles, to stay focused on long term goals, and to maintain a strong mindset even when faced with setbacks. Mentally strong people do not crumble under pressure. They adapt, learn, and grow stronger from their experiences. Both emotional and mental strength go hand in hand, and together they form the foundation of a strong, unbreakable spirit. One of the most important lessons in building emotional and mental strength is understanding that challenges are not setbacks, they are opportunities for growth. Every difficulty we face is a chance to develop resilience, problem solving skills, and inner strength. The people who succeed in life are not those who have never faced hardships, but those who have faced them, learned from them, and refused to let them define them. Consider some of the most successful people in history: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders. None of them achieved greatness without struggle. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was once cut from his high school basketball team. He could have given up, but instead, he used that failure as fuel to work harder and prove himself. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected by multiple publishers before finding success. She could have let those rejections discourage her, but instead, she persevered. These stories remind us that challenges are not meant to stop us, they are meant to strengthen us. One of the key elements of mental and emotional strength is developing a mindset that can withstand difficulties. This does not mean ignoring negative emotions or pretending that everything is perfect. It means acknowledging hardships while refusing to be defeated by them. The way we think about challenges determines how we respond to them. If we view every obstacle as a permanent roadblock, we will remain stuck. But if we see hardships as temporary, as lessons to be learned, we will continue to move forward. A resilient mindset is built through self-discipline and self-awareness. It requires us to challenge negative thoughts, to stop making excuses, and to take responsibility for our own growth. One of the most effective ways to strengthen our minds is through self-talk, the way we speak to ourselves in difficult moments. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," we must train ourselves to say, "I am capable of overcoming this." Instead of thinking, "I will never succeed," we must remind ourselves, every failure is a step closer to success. What we tell ourselves matters, and positive self-talk can be a powerful tool for building mental resilience. Emotional strength is not about suppressing emotions. It is about understanding and managing them effectively. Life will always throw situations at us that evoke anger, sadness, frustration, or fear. But emotionally strong people do not let their emotions control their actions. They take a step back, assess the situation, and respond in a way that is constructive rather than destructive. One of the best ways to develop emotional strength is through emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and control our emotions while also being aware of how they affect others. This involves self awareness, understanding our emotions, and knowing what triggers them. Self regulation, controlling our reactions instead of letting emotions dictate our behavior. Empathy, understanding and respecting the emotions of others. Social skills, communicating effectively and maintaining strong relationships even in difficult times. Practicing emotional intelligence helps us remain calm under pressure, resolve conflicts peacefully, and maintain our inner peace even when things around us are chaotic. One of the greatest enemies of mental and emotional strength is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But fear is only powerful if we allow it to control us. The strongest people in the world have all felt fear, but what sets them apart is their ability to push through it. They do not let self-doubt hold them back from pursuing their dreams. We must understand that fear is normal, but it should never stop us from taking action. The only way to conquer fear is to face it head on. Whether it is fear of public speaking, fear of rejection, or fear of taking risks, We must remind ourselves that growth happens outside of our comfort zones. Every time we push past our fears, we gain confidence, proving to ourselves that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. Mental and emotional strength are not built overnight. They are developed through consistent effort and discipline. When things get tough, it is easy to give up, to make excuses, and to walk away from challenges. But true strength is about persistence. It is about showing up every day, even when we do not feel like it. It is about committing to personal growth, setting goals, and staying disciplined in our actions. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when we do not feel motivated. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps us moving forward. Whether it is working toward a career goal, improving our health, or building better habits, persistence and self discipline are what separate those who succeed from those who give up too soon. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, triumphs and failures, moments of joy and seasons of struggle. While we all wish for an easy path, the truth is that life's greatest lessons and strengths are forged in the fire of hardship. Hard times are not punishments, they are opportunities for growth. They test our resilience, shape our character, and prepare us for a future filled with wisdom, strength, and purpose. Today, I want to talk about why we must not run from difficulties, but embrace them, because it is through struggle that we build the foundation for a stronger future. It is natural to feel overwhelmed when faced with challenges. Whether it is personal loss, financial hardship, failure, or uncertainty, difficult moments can make us question our strength and purpose. But what if we looked at hard times differently? What if, instead of seeing them as obstacles, we saw them as stepping stones? Every challenge we face carries a lesson, a message, and an opportunity for growth. History is filled with stories of great individuals who faced extreme hardship before achieving greatness. Abraham Lincoln failed in business, lost numerous elections, and suffered personal tragedies before becoming one of the greatest leaders in American history. Oprah Winfrey endured poverty, abuse, and rejection before becoming a media icon. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. If these individuals had allowed hardships to break them, they would have never changed the world. Their struggles were not in vain, they were stepping stones to success. One of the greatest qualities hard times teach us is resilience, the ability to keep going even when everything seems to be against us. Resilience is not about avoiding failure. It is about rising every time we fall. It is about standing tall even when life knocks us down. When we embrace hard times, we learn to push beyond our limits, to endure pain, and to develop the inner strength necessary to survive and thrive. Imagine a tree standing in the middle of a storm. The winds may bend its branches, the rain may beat down on its leaves, but because its roots are strong, it does not fall. The same is true for us. Every challenge we face strengthens our roots, our inner resolve, our patience, our determination. Without challenges, we remain weak and untested. But when we embrace hardships, we build resilience. And resilience is what carries us through life's toughest battles. One of the greatest fears we have is the fear of failure. We see failure as an ending, as proof that we are not good enough. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. Every failure teaches us something valuable. Every setback provides an opportunity to reassess, to improve, and to come back stronger. It's about learning to ride a bicycle. No one gets it right the first time. We fall, we get bruised, and we might even feel embarrassed. But each time we get back on the bike, we improve. We learn balance, control, and confidence. Life works the same way. Every failure is a lesson. If we avoid failure, we avoid growth. But if we embrace failure as a teacher, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. Difficult moments reveal who we truly are. When everything is going well, it is easy to be positive, kind, and motivated. But when life becomes difficult, that is when our true character is tested. Do we give up, or do we fight harder? Do we complain, or do we seek solutions? Do we blame others, or do we take responsibility for our growth? Hardships teach us patience, gratitude, and humility. They remind us of what truly matters in life. When we go through financial struggles, we learn to appreciate the value of hard work and money. When we experience loss, we learn to cherish our loved ones. When we fail at something important, we learn perseverance and determination. Every difficult experience shapes us into a wiser, stronger, and more resilient person. Our mindset determines how we handle difficulties. Two people can face the same hardship, yet one will break while the other will rise. What makes the difference? Perspective. If we see challenges as punishments, we will feel hopeless. But if we see them as opportunities to grow, we will embrace them with courage. Consider a diamond. A diamond starts as a simple piece of coal, but through immense pressure and heat, it transforms into one of the most valuable and beautiful stones on earth. The same applies to us. Without pressure, without struggle, we cannot reach our full potential. We must shift our mindset from why is this happening to me to what is this teaching me? Because when we change our perspective, we change our future. When we embrace difficulties, we prepare ourselves for bigger opportunities. Every great leader, athlete, or successful person has faced challenges that prepared them for their future. Hardships are life's way of training us, of making sure we are strong enough to handle the success that is coming our way. Think of a warrior preparing for battle. They do not become strong by sitting in comfort. They train, they struggle, they endure pain, all to become stronger. Life does the same for us. It tests us, challenges us, and puts obstacles in our way, not to destroy us, but to prepare us for something greater. If you are facing a difficult time right now, remember this: you are not being broken, you are being built. Every hardship is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Every struggle is strengthening you for the future that awaits you. Ladies and gentlemen, the road to greatness is never easy, but that is what makes success so meaningful. Adversity is not a curse, it is a blessing in disguise. It is the fire that refines us, the storm that strengthens us, and the challenge that pushes us to rise above our circumstances. So the next time life throws obstacles in your path, do not fear them, welcome them, learn from them, overcome them. Because in the end, it is not the easy days that shape us. It is the hard times that build strong people. Thank you.